Hello and welcome to the Hank Cisco Show. I'm obviously not Hank Cisco, I'm Stan Husky, I'm filling in for Hank today. That's a lot of shoes to fill there, big shoes to fill, so I'm going to do the best that I can. Hopefully you bear with me, we'll have a little bit of fun. Today my guest is Jennifer Hedrick from Expressive Path. Jennifer, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Glad to be here, thank you. It's nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you as well. I thought it was going to be Pamela Martin, who happens to be in our building down at Center Theater. And then when I walked in, because we have a meeting after this show, and when I walked in, I saw you there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to really be on my toes here to be a good host today.
As you know, Pam, she's multitasking and always very busy. She's promoting Expressive Path, and she's a multifaceted person, always trying to get out there and do the next thing. Very innovative with her mission.
She is, and like I said, she's been in our building down at the Center Theater for about a year, a little more, maybe a year and a half now. And I honestly don't know a whole lot about Expressive Path. So why don't you tell us what Expressive Path does?
Well, let me start with Pam. So this was something that was in her heart and soul, Expressive Path, for many moons and many years. And she had a conversation with her mom before her mom passed away about how can I marry everything that I love, art and children and community, into something for the better good. And through those conversations with her mom, Expressive Path was born. So Expressive Path is a nonprofit organization in Montgomery County. We support the arts in the schools, 90% mobile. We are in Center Theater, that's the home base.
Right, we're in Rosetown.
Yeah, and we go into the schools, we go into community organizations. We try to touch as many people as we can and just bring the love of art therapy, and to make life a better place for children within the community. Give them something to look forward to, build their self-esteem, build community, mentorship programs, and things like that for them for success.
And I noticed she has a lot of musical instruments. How does the music, how do you use that to help the kids, to reach the kids?
So we go into the schools with the musical instruments that have been donated, and also through fundraising, and we teach them how to play, we teach them how to write, we teach them how to express themselves. That's the whole point. It's a stepping stone for them for their future. We also do theater, we do painting, murals, which we'll talk about later, poetry, some acting, any sort of art that you can imagine, we're touching their lives with, so that way they can express themselves.
So that's a pretty good size array of offerings that you have there. So it has to be more than just you and Pam that are
it takes an
helping out.
army. It takes an army.
So the folks who go in and teach the music, they're all volunteers?
All volunteers.
How nice is that?
Volunteer base is what we have. We have volunteers that help us with fundraising. We have volunteers that help us with mentorship programs, community activists. We have people that go out and seek donations. It's just, it takes an army, really, like I said, to do this for the children, and that we pride ourselves in.
So are you reaching at-risk kids, or is this just any kids that want to be a part of it?
We go from 12 years old to 19. So we do concentrate on at-risk children, but we're not going to deny anybody from the arts.
Right. So how do you connect the arts with at-risk kids?
Well, we try to, first of all, we have a theme. So for this year, it's going to be cultural diversity, anti-drug and alcohol lifestyle. So we're teaching them how to do other things besides resorting to drugs and alcohol, how to embrace diversity. So instead of turning to drugs, instead of turning to alcohol, what else can you do with your time? What else can you do with that energy? Instead of doing something bad, do something good.
The old idle hands theory, right?
That's right.
Well, I understand completely what you're saying. We often go for grants down at Center Theater as well. And one of our, obviously, strong points is that, look, we want to get kids before they get involved. A lot of people reach out to kids and who are already at risk, but we have a music program down at the theater as well that we like to try to reach the kids before they even think about getting involved. So you have a couple events coming up, don't you?
I do. The one thing I want to say about that is that we have this Memorial Scholarship Foundation, which is after Pam's parents, Frank and Jen, and we are looking for, I'm going to look at my little cheat sheet here on the back, it's a video application. So you're going to submit that. You're going to tell us about your art. You're going to tell us why it's important to you and why pursuing a degree in art is important as well. So if you guys want to take a look at that. It's $500 and we're looking for 4 people, so $500 a piece.
So who is this open to?
This is open to college, high school students that are seniors that are going into and college students as well. So if you have been accepted to a college, if you're currently in a college, this scholarship is for you if you're pursuing a degree in art.
And I'm sure all the parameters are on the website there.
That's right.
How long is the video? Just out of curiosity.
That's a very good question. There is an application, so I would just follow the instructions on the application.
Right.
Okay, as long as you answer the questions.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, the other event that we have coming up is in the spring. It's going to be April the 29th. It's at the Lower Providence Fire Hall. And we do this every year. It's our spring fling. The theme this year is Mardi Gras, which is really neat. So we're going to be doing masks. We're going to be doing rock painting. Expressive Path is stepping stones to the art. That's why we're doing the rocks. There's going to be a band there. Where's Pete, which has been excellent to us every year. Dance music. You're going to get up and dance. There's going to be a buffet. There's going to be raffle baskets. You're going to have a good time. You're not going to be disappointed if you come to this event. The tickets are $30. Okay, you can pre-purchase them, or they're $35 at the door, but we welcome everybody, family, children. My 2-year-old's going to be there dancing up a storm, so just make sure you guys come out and bring your friends.
So it's a family affair. You want
It is.
You want the whole family to come
We
out
want
to
everybody,
this.
yep.
And when is it again? April 26th?
April the 29th.
29th.
I'm sorry, April the 26th, right.
It's the 26th. Okay, great. That sounds like a fun event.
Thank you.
And you have one in the fall?
We do. So we do 2 fundraisers a year. This is how we're able to do everything that we do. Like I said, we're 90% mobile. We get donations from people. We need to buy supplies. So the other one is going to be in September. And it's going to be at the Elmwood Fire Hall stand. And what we're going to do is we're going to have bands out there. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have food trucks. And it's just a way for all of our students to show their work.
So I know a little bit about that one coming up in the fall. In fact, that's what my meeting following this is all about. That'll be down at Elmwood Park.
Yes.
A big part of it is going to take place in the band shell?
Yes, it will. Because we're going to have the students up there. They're going to sing. They're going to play their instruments. They're going to have their art on display. They're going to get out there and they're going to showcase all of their talents and everything that they've been working towards all this time.
And I know you're going to work with Elmwood Park Zoo a little bit with that one as
We'd
well.
like to.
So it sounds like a fun day.
Yeah.
And that's in September.
That's in September.
Do you have information about that on your website already as well?
Yes, I do. Yep. And I'm going to show you guys this so you can save the date for it. Voila.
Save the date, September 7th, 2019, from 2 to 6 p.m. Is that a Saturday or a Sunday? Sure, it's on the weekend.
It is. You see, I'm questioning myself now. I wish I would have made the note Saturday or Sunday because we tried it for the first time on a Saturday last year. Typically, it's a Sunday. I feel so silly to not to know. That's funny.
It's far enough away. I think we can figure
It's
it
the
out by then.
7th. Write it down.
That's great. Well, you said something a minute ago that piqued my interest.
Yeah, tell me.
You said that you're 90% mobile.
We
What
are.
does that mean?
So our office is in Center Theater. We do have mentorship programs there that students can come and participate in, especially during the summertime. But we pride ourselves into going out into the community. So we will go to some schools, we will go to different centers, and we will take ourselves to the students. We find that a lot of students have a hard time with transportation and making certain appointments at certain times elsewhere if we don't go to where they already are. So if we bring ourselves to them, we go into Norristown High School, Norristown Middle School, Roosevelt School, if we go into those schools where the students are already centered and make ourselves available to them, then they are available to us.
And how do you judge your success? How do you feel like, okay, we grabbed that kid, we reached that student?
Through their art. You can see it through the things that they say, through the way that they glow. We have one student that I just get emotional just thinking about it. When you watch them, when you hear them, when you listen to them, when you look at their paintings, when you look at their photography. I mean, for them to take everything that they're feeling, for anyone to take anything that they're feeling and be able to just put it out there, they make themselves vulnerable at that moment, but there's something about that vulnerability that makes you feel passion for them and for how they're living. And I think for anyone who's ever tried painting and they realize how hard it is, for someone to take all that energy and emotion inside of them and create something beautiful that maybe they weren't feeling beautiful about, I mean, I just, I don't have
can
enough
tell-
words.
I can tell by the way you're talking about it that obviously it's very near and dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved?
Pam and I, we met at an art exhibit in Manayunk. She had her photography up, and I was going through some life changes at the time, and her photography, it had a sign on a fence, and I don't know the proper words for how she layered the pictures, but the sign said everything will be okay. So she had all these pictures, and those pictures said everything will be okay, and I thought I needed that today. So I bought it, and I was talking to her, and realized that she went to Shady Grove, which my children were going to Shady Grove at the time, so we had that little connection about the school, and I just became a fan of hers then. She was very enlightening and passionate and courageous and everything I wanted to be at that moment. And she was doing something that not a lot of people do. So she was working full time, and she was developing this nonprofit, and she was helping others, and she is just a huge role model. And she was touching so many lives, but helping her own life as well. And I thought, she's a good person to know. So from that engagement, we then became professional partners. And I was being vendors at her events and things like that. And then she asked me to be a part of her committee, which I was so flattered, because I'm like, well, why would anybody want me to be a part of their committee? Okay, I'll be a part of a committee. That sounds pretty cool. I like her. I like what she does. Okay, I'll be a part of this. And then from there, my love for her and the organization grew even more. I saw what she was doing and the differences that she was making and the hard work she was pouring into it, and how every year it just blossoms. Expressive Path is not that old. It's maybe 5 or 6 years young. I mean, it has a huge lifespan ahead of it, not a little one behind it, but every year's progress. Every year it gets bigger. Every year it morphs into something else, and it's really neat to see it blossom, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
So what is your role? What do you do?
I'm more at the back of the house, kind of seeing. I do the community engagement. I do things like this, meeting you. Sometimes I have to be really aware of who I'm talking to and what I'm saying, because when you're excited about something, I call it diarrhea of the mouth. You just want to spill all the information on the people all at one time, and you're like, okay, calm down, dial it back a notch, relax, it's okay. But I'm a big advocate for her. So I take classes at Temple in the evening, so I'm always trying to get volunteers for her. I do social media, posts sometimes. I go out and I knock on doors, I pound the pavements, and I just consider myself just a really big cheerleader.
No, that's great. I wish we had somebody like that for the Center Theater. Your enthusiasm is
I am pretty enthusiastic, sometimes annoying, but it's okay. You like me or hate me, but you'll never forget me.
you know what? If you weren't doing that, then I would say, well, she's not really into what she's doing. So it definitely shows.
I bring that energy to the advisory committee as well. So, on the advisory board, like I was talking about, I tend to have a different, we all have a different viewpoint and way of life, and we just collaborate to make it whole. There's many pieces to the puzzle. But when we were talking about the art and the passion behind art and what people bring to the community, Expressive Path brings to the community and the students, just in youth in general, we do have this happening as well, which I wanted to share. So this is going to happen this summer. We were asked by Ramco Auto Collision to do a mural on their building. Oh, okay. And so anyone can do this. We're going to supply the supplies to do it. So if you're interested, make sure you get on our website, expressivepath.org.
And where's the collision shop?
It's on Markley Street.
On Markley Street?
In Norristown. So we're going to paint
Markley and what?
Tell me. Ramco Auto Collision.
Ramco? Oh, I know where that is.
Yes, tell me.
That's right before you get to Elm, I think, as you're headed north.
Okay.
I believe that's right.
Okay, tell me. Well, you're not going to miss it now because the mural's going to be there.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted people to be able to kind of slow down as they're going by. To see when do you
so
start that project?
we don't have an exact date yet. We're still trying to get people interested and sign up to do it, and then from there we'll get a date. We want to make sure we have enough artists to do it. So it's going to be cultural diversity.
Very nice. Yeah. I think we both kind of touched on the same thing with the arts and kids and how it can keep them out of trouble. I actually also think that it can also turn this town around. Norristown, in particular, has been struggling with revitalization for years, and I firmly believe it can be on the backs of the arts. I saw it happen in Phoenixville. I was the editor of the local paper over there in 2000, and there were a lot of boarded up storefronts over there. The Colonial Theater over there had this little showing of The Blob. It was a cult movie, Steve McQueen, 100 years ago, but they filmed the end of that movie there, where the Blob actually came out of the movie screen and chased everybody out of the theater.
Okay.
Well, when they first started that, they had a dozen people maybe that would come running out of the theater because the town just wasn't that vibrant. And they just kept it going, and they kept it going over the years. Now, I think you have to like get a lottery ticket to be one of those people to come running out of that theater. It's gotten so popular, and I think the festival actually lasts all weekend. So it's really, I think Phoenixville, they had some smart people come in, Main Street manager come in and did some right things and made some right moves, but I firmly believe it was on the back of that theater that people saw that happening every year and said, you know what, we want to be part of this. I think it happened in Ambler. I think it happened in Keswick. I think it, a lot of towns that dried up after suburbia took hold are coming back through the arts.
So wouldn't it be beautiful? You sound like a visionary. I have vision too. And that scares people sometimes. Vision does. We can, I think you and I are also the same, as well as Pam, where you can see a big picture. But, and so if you start there and you see the end, you see the goal, and then you work your way backwards and to see how you're actually going to get there. So if Norristown, if the philosophy is developed, painting Norristown beautiful, doing their murals, doing this, doing that, bringing arts back to the community, there's such a great feeling about the arts. I mean, look at the movie stars we pay. Look at we pay for artists. Look at what we pay for singers. Because they are able to bring out in us something that we can't bring out ourselves. We're able to pretend for a minute. When we see people on stage, when we hear a song, it reminds us of a memory sometimes.
Sure.
And the theme right now, anti-drugs and alcohol, lifestyle, cultural diversity. When smaller children see something that reminds them of themselves, they feel better about themselves. And that's why you'll see on TV all the diverse commercials that are going on right now, the interracial marriages, even the cartoons. They're showing just a wide range of different, I say different colors, sizes, shapes, forms, and fashions. Just everyone is different. Well, we're embracing that. We have to embrace that because we all are. We're very colorful. And Norristown will see that, they'll be able to see that too throughout the community. And it creates community. Art creates community.
We had a festival at one time that I'd like to see revitalized. It was Norristown Hearts Hill. And that runs from Lafayette Street, right below the Center Theater, all the way up to Erie Street. And we did it about 4 or 5 years running. And I'll tell you, one of the last years we were there, I was still the editor over at the Times Herald, and we had we did this thing called Monco Idol for American Idol. And we did our finals out the last couple of years out there. And I had never seen so many people in downtown Norristown in my life. I was standing on top of DeKalb, looking down the hill toward the theater, and it was just, you couldn't even see any asphalt. It was just covered with people. And that was it takes a lot of people, though. It's like one of those things where you have a lot of communities, and you have a lot of people enthusiastic with these, or committees, a lot of people enthusiastic, and then it winds up with like 4 or 5 people doing all the work.
Right.
And that was kind of one of those things where 4 or 5 people were doing all the work, and you just get worn out after a while. But that would be something, especially with Expressive Path now being in the Center Theater. We have Sakate in there, which is a wonderful, wonderful after-school program. And Theater Horizon right up the hill from us. We have the new coffee shop around the corner, Tim Shell, great little coffee shop. We have Five Saints right around the corner from there. So there's a lot going on right now that it would be great to take some of this momentum now and maybe bring that back.
Yeah.
I'd at least love to see our banners. They're faded so bad you can't even notice them going up the Calb Street, but the Norristown Arts Hill banners are still there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still up there. It's been a while.
Well, if we all collaborate together, we can do it.
I think so. I think so. Well, Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who are your people? Where are you from?
I am a Marylander. I can almost tell I'm a Pennsylvania now. I've been here for
Do
about
they have the
10
arts
years.
in Maryland? Do they do anything with the
So
arts
let
in
me
Maryland?
tell you this about where I'm from. I'm from this little community. It's on a peninsula. It's called St. Mary's County.
Okay.
And it is in southern Maryland. People mistaken it for Eastern Shore. It is not. So I grew up surrounded by tobacco fields. And it is just beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful country. Amish, horse and buggy.
Really?
I mean, still to this day.
I don't relate Amish
Yeah.
with Maryland.
It's interesting, right? So in this little piece of property, southern Maryland, Amish are still there. And I grew up thinking that we did not have a lot in our community for children. So I think one of the other reasons why I'm very passionate about PAM and the organization is that when I was a little girl, I decided that I wanted to open up a YMCA and have all these things for children in our area because we didn't have anything for us.
Okay.
You know, we just ran outside and
Every girl's
played in
dream.
the woods and play in the creeks and do this and do that and come home when it's dark.
Every
So-
girl's dream to open up a YMCA,
I mean,
I'm
we
sure.
did something like that, an organization for children because as a child I didn't think there was a lot at my fingertips to do.
Okay.
Besides the great outdoors, which I have to say was lovely to me. So when I met her and to be a part of this organization, it just, brings me back to that little childhood thought like, oh, now I've met this woman in my present, that and is helping me towards the future that, I'm really attached to and, all great things.
But were you into the arts growing up? Were you an artist?
Pretend. I still pretend to be an artist. By no means am I. I enjoy dancing. I've always enjoyed that, and it's something that Pam and I have talked about, maybe developing a mentorship program in dance. But my lifestyle hasn't exactly allowed me to do that yet, but it is on the block to do in the
We could
future.
have a little dance studio right down the first floor of the theater. we have the new floors down there. Would be perfect
Well,
for it.
something about it, being able to express yourself that way too, to be able
Sure.
to even take out your aggression, to be able to exercise, have your body move different ways, feeling different things. I mean, look at Dancing with the Stars. That really, has caught on. Being able to think that, or thinking that you can't dance and then dance, is a
I
challenge.
don't think some of them can dance.
An accomplishment.
They might be
but
stars.
they're doing it. They're doing something that some people are afraid to do, and that's a big deal.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. I could not
and
see
art like that
myself.
is in general.
Yeah.
Being able just to try it.
Yeah, you don't think about the arts and I don't want to say athletics, but keeping yourself in shape or whatever. But there's a lot of connection there. I was watching something. They were showing football players who were doing yoga. They were
And ballet.
and ballet.
Different
Yep,
forms,
yep.
making your body move different ways. One thing I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. May 23rd. So Expressive Path is going to be at the Montgomery County Community College in Pottsville at their gallery.
Pottstown.
Yeah. And we're having... we're going to have 100 pieces of art on display from our students. So it's going to be the anti-drug and alcohol lifestyle and the cultural diversity. So 100 pieces of their art will be on display. And we're going to have the May 23rd is for the students, and June 6th is going to be for the public. So there's going to be a reception there, there's going to be music, there's going to be food, and you're going to be able to come out and see what the students are currently doing. So we'd like to...
Very nice. What
yeah.
time of day?
So that's going to be in the evening from 6 to 8.
From 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Public is invited what date?
That's the June 6th.
June 6th.
Yep.
From 6 to 8.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
please,
great.
make sure you guys get that on. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, which I forgot to mention. And we want you to visit our website, expresspath.org. So everything that we've talked about through our time together, you can find out more information there.
Let me go back to the art exhibit.
Yeah.
That's at the Montgomery County Community College Pottstown campus?
That's correct.
Okay. And then you're a .org. Well, a lot of people go online and they'll go, well, I can't find you.
It's we're at
And
.org.
well, it's because it's .org,
Yeah.
not .com. We get the same thing at Elmwood Park Zoo. Well, I sent you an email. What'd you send it to?
Right.
ElmwoodParkZoo.com.
It's like my name. They always, my last name is Hedrick, but they always put like an X or an N or an S or something in it. They always change it and then they can't find me.
I thought of Hedrick right away because I know some Hedricks,
Okay.
but it's close. But
but
how
this-
about? No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
In the gallery that I'm just speaking of, it's a collaboration. So it's a collaboration with Laurel House. It's a collaboration with Norristown Area School District. It's also a collaboration with the Lincoln Center, Family Services,
Okay.
and Aklama. Yes,
Yep,
thank you.
Yep, they're down on West Marshall Street.
Yep.
So students from all of these places will have art there. So, well, that
I didn't
sounds
want to
like-
be selfish and say expressive that, but I'll share.
That sounds like a big show.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the space out there.
Yeah.
That's going to take up a lot of
We
space.
did it last year at the Municipal Building in Norristown.
Okay.
So we're just happy to be able to continue to do it. So
The only thing I was going to say was you mentioned Instagram as well. What is your handle on Instagram? Don't know? I'm going to
Expressive
guess
Path.
it's Expressive Path.
it's Expressive Path.
Well, sometimes you have to throw something in there a
Yeah.
little different because somebody already has it.
Right.
So I didn't know if you had something like that.
We do have several volunteers that take care of that for us, and if you look us up, you'll be just amazed at how clever they are with what they do. There's always something on a Monday that gets your thoughts going and makes you feel good. We highlight a lot of the students on there too.
Yeah, we talked about the volunteers earlier, and you said everybody's volunteer. Are you looking for new volunteers?
Every day.
Every
and
day?
mentors.
And how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, on the website as well.
Okay. Is there a place they can go on the website
If you go on the website, it does say make
express their interest?
volunteer information.
Sorry about that.
Right.
Hank would be proud
funny.
of that, though. Hank would be happy
I'm
with
sorry, I
that.
don't know this, Hank. He sounds pretty clever.
Oh, yeah, you're missing something here.
Yeah, but so there's a small process that the mentors do have to do, and but paperwork is on there, the applications are on there, and you can always feel free to email us or call us. So that's good too. Our phone number is 610-331-3516.
3516? Very nice. What's the favorite part of your day?
My favorite part of my day, knowing that I was able to help somebody else.
That's always very nice.
Yeah.
Especially when it happens, and like you said earlier, that you can actually see it.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
I
good
shared
thing.
with you earlier that I opened a resale boutique. It's called 1223, and one of the missions is to help two selected nonprofit organizations in the community and two nationally, and one is Expressive Path. So part of my philosophy is being able to give back.
This is the online business you were talking about earlier? when
We
were
will
at
go
Town
online,
Center?
right. So right now we're pop-up, but so through 1223, we get donations for Pam, we find volunteers for Pam. I'm here, as a representative for Pam, but I just think making a difference with helping people, that makes my day.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, is there anything I didn't ask you?
My favorite color, my blood type, no.
What's your sign? I don't even know if that's real. So, all right. Well, listen, we greatly appreciate you being on today. Very interesting. Like I said, we have had Pam in the building for about a year.
Oh,
and
wait
a half
till you meet
now.
her. She is something.
And
You guys.
I feel like I've really learned something about Expressive Path. You're right. She's always busy, so she's
Yeah.
always going and asking me a million questions. And I kind of get to where I'm answering her, and I never get to ask her any questions. So it was great chatting with you today. Thank you very much for being on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all
you,
very
everybody.
much for watching today. And I think I have to have a signature sign off here. So I'm just going to say to everybody, keep bobbing and weaving.